What's up, guys? How are you? And welcome back to another episode of the Nose Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, aka The Nose, and we've got another NASCAR episode for you today. We're going to recap an exciting Cookout 400 at Richmond Raceway, go over how we did in our lineups, go over the matchups, the 36 for 36, and also the best bets. And then we're going to turn our attention over to the Dollar Tree 301 at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So let's get right into it. Joey Logano survived a grueling tire management battle under the lights to win the 2026 Cookout 400 at Richmond Raceway. Driving the number 22 Team Penske, Logano led 95 laps and held off a late race charge from Chase Briscoe by just .392 seconds to pick up his second victory of the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series season and the 39th win of his career. This race really came down to tire management, strategy on who could keep their tires underneath them when it mattered most. Over in Stage 1, we had the pole sitter Ryan Blaney. He dominated. He came out strong. He controlled the opening 70-lap stage, leading 60 laps and picking up his series-leading six-stage win of the season. Chase Briscoe aggressively worked the outside groove late in the stage and challenged Ryan Blaney for the lead, but ultimately settled for second place. Austin Cindric also had a strong start. A quick opening pit cycle helped him climb from 23rd place into the top 5. Over in Stage 2, this is when Joey Logano took control. The race started to change in Stage 2 as tire degradation became a major factor. Joey Logano did an excellent job managing his rear tires during the long green flag runs. He was able to make his tires last longer than the competition and eventually took control of the stage. Joey Logano dominated Stage 2 and picked up the maximum bonus points for Team Penske. Over in Stage 3, the final stage, the tire gamble. This is when it went down in the final stage, and this is where things got really interested. Chase Briscoe's Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota, it came alive. Chase Briscoe led a race high 171 laps and built a 2-second advantage with 75 laps remaining. But the final pit cycle completely changed the complexion of the race. Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick, they gambled by staying out on older tires, which put them in a tough position when the cars with fresher tires started coming. Joey Logano, he was one of those drivers. With only 37 laps to go, Joey Logano used his fresher tires to hunt down Christopher Bell and eventually make the pass. Chase Briscoe, he followed shortly after and started closing the gap on Joey Logano. The number 19 car was coming fast, but Joey Logano did exactly what he needed to do. He defended the line, kept Briscoe behind him, and brought the number 22 Ford home for the victory. It was an amazing finish. Congratulations to the 22 car of Joey Logano and Team Penske. Over at my final lineup, I had Austin Dillon at 18 points. Joey Logano gave me the max points on the day, 73 points. Ross Chastain gave me 25 points. Josh Berry, he had another strong showing. He gave me 40 points. And then Ryan Blaney gave me 41 points. So that gave me a grand total of 237 total points. If you count the matchup points, and we'll go over that here in a minute, I'm definitely not going to complain about those points. The performance moved me up to second place in my league. For the 36 for 36, I took the number 3 car of Austin Dillon. Like I already said, he gave me 18 points. Unfortunately, though, I fell to second place in my one and done league. I finally fell from the top spot after holding the lead for 4 straight weeks. I think it's 4 or 5 weeks now. But now I am 10 points behind the leader, so hopefully we can make up some ground at New Hampshire and get that top spot back. Over at the matchups, this was the good news that we did it again. We swept all 4 matchups. That makes 2 straight weeks where we have gotten all 4 matchups correctly. So I'm pretty happy with that part of the show right now. Let's see if we can make it 3 straight this week at New Hampshire. For the best bets, this was not our best week. We only got 1 bet correct, and that was the Josh Berry top 10 at plus 130. We wagered 2 units and finished the week down 1.4 units. That puts us at minus 0.72 units on the year. We've got plenty of season left, so we're going to keep grinding and hopefully turn that number around. Now it's time to move on to the Dollar Tree 301 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. This is the second to last race of the regular season, so there's a lot on the line here. With the newly brought back 10-race chase postseason format, drivers are going to be fighting for those final playoff spots, and the pressure is only going to increase as we get closer to the postseason. Some drivers to watch: the 22 car of Joey Logano. He comes into New Hampshire red hot after winning 2 of the last 4 races, including last week's Cookout 400 at Richmond. He also won the pole at Loudon last year, so he's definitely someone that I'll be keeping an eye on. Ryan Blaney is another driver to look at. He is the defending race winner at New Hampshire and is one of the top favorites this weekend. Team Penske has been extremely strong lately, and Ryan Blaney knows exactly what it takes to get the job done at this track. The 19 car Chase Briscoe, he is one of my favorite sleeper picks this week. He has finished 6th or better in 4 straight races and just led a race high 171 laps at Richmond before finishing 2nd place. He's been running extremely well lately, and I think that momentum could continue this weekend. The other driver to look at is the 20 car of Christopher Bale. Christopher Bale is another driver I expect to be right up front. He has been knocking on the door of victory all season with multiple strong finishes, and New Hampshire has historically been an excellent track for him. One other thing that I want to talk about is that there is a special paint scheme this week. John Hunter Nemechek, he will not be in the number 42 car. No, he did not get fired. He will be driving a special number 40 Dollar Tree Toyota to celebrate the company's 40th anniversary. Now let's talk about the playoff picture here. Only 7 drivers have mathematically clinched their spot in the 16-driver chase field, currently holding the final 3 positions. You got Bubba Wallace at 14th, Austin Cindric at 15th. Shane Van Gisbergen is in 16th in that final spot. And right on the outside looking in, you got Ryan Preece, and you got SVG's teammate over at Trackhouse in Ross Chastain, who are going to be fighting hard to make their move into the playoff field. With only 2 regular season races remaining, every position and every point matters. Now let's go over my lineup for the Dollar Tree 301. I don't know why it's 301 when it should just be the 300. But anyways, my first driver will be the 20 car of Christopher Bale. Since bursting onto the NASCAR scene, Christopher Bale has made New Hampshire one of his strongest tracks. He is undefeated in 4 O'Reilly Auto Parts Series starts there and has also picked up 2 Cup Series victories at the track, both coming in the last 4 events. He also has finishes of 1st and 2nd in the Craftsman Truck Series competition in the Granite State. There's a lot to like about this weekend, and that's why he is my first driver in my lineup. My next driver will be the 22 car of Joey Logano. The 3-time Cup Series champion is absolutely rolling right now. Over the last 5 races, Joey Logano has scored more than 40% of his season points, with 264 of his 659 points coming during that stretch. He's also a 2-time winner at this track. Last year, Joey Logano led a race high of 147 laps before finishing 4th place. After winning Richmond last week, I'm not going to bet against the number 22 car right now. My third driver will be the 1 car of Ross Chastain. He's right around the playoff bubble, so there is plenty of motivation for him to have a strong run at New Hampshire. With the playoffs getting closer, I expect Ross Chastain to be more aggressive like we've seen it in the past and fight for every position that he can get. My 4th driver will be the 21 car of Josh Berry. Josh Berry is racing for his future, and that pressure seems to be bringing out the best in him. Josh Berry has 3 straight top 10 finishes, tying the longest top 10 streak of his Cup career. The 21 team finished runner-up to Ryan Blaney at New Hampshire last year and was actually hunting the leader down at the checkered flag. In 2 New Hampshire Cup Series starts, Josh Berry has finished second and a third-place finish. That is some pretty impressive track history, and I like Josh Berry again this weekend. And I think Josh Berry wants to prove to not only himself but everybody else, I think he wants to prove to Richard Childress that he deserves to be in that 33 car. I do believe Josh Berry will be in the number 33 car next season. You heard it first here on the Nose. Josh Berry, number 33. All right, anyways, my 5th driver will be the 19 car of Chase Briscoe. I'm putting Chase Briscoe in the lineup this week. He ran extremely well at Richmond, leading 171 laps and finishing second place. We also know how good Briscoe can be on short tracks. After the run that he just had at Richmond, I want him in my lineup again this week. My garage driver will be another short track ace in the 54 car of Ty Gibbs. We seen him win at Bristol. You know, he won in Iowa, and then he was running pretty good at Richmond. He ran really good at Martinsville, Phoenix. I mean, all these short tracks, all these comp tracks, he does really well at. If he's in that top 5 near the end of stage 2, I will be moving Ty Gibbs up into my lineup and moving, someone else down into the garage spot. I think he's another driver to keep an eye on throughout the weekend, and he could be somebody who makes a big impact for us. Over at the matchups, the first matchup, we got Joey Logano versus Ryan Blaney. My pick here would be Joey Logano. This is a tough one because you're choosing between 2 Team Penske teammates, but I got to roll with Joey Logano, and he said on the Richmond front stretch, don't let the boys get hot. Well, Joey Logano is red hot right now. Ryan Blaney has been a little less consistent at New Hampshire compared to Joey Logano with 5 top 10 finishes in 13 starts. The next matchup will be Chase Briscoe versus Josh Berry. My pick here is Chase Briscoe. Josh Berry, he's riding high right now, but Briscoe, he is sizzling hot as well. Chase Briscoe has said Richmond and New Hampshire are among his worst tracks on the schedule, but ironically, both have been very strong tracks for the number 19 team over the years. I think this could be a battle between 2 drivers running inside the top 5 late in the race, but I'm giving Chase Briscoe the edge here. The next matchup will be Christopher Bell versus Danny Hamlin. My pick here will be Christopher Bell. Bell is probably going to be a popular pick this weekend, and for good reason. Danny Hamlin, he's no slouch at New Hampshire either, though. He leads all active drivers in wins with 3, laps led with 798, and top 10 finishes with 19. He also has an average finish of 9.9. The number 11 team has also put together 11 consecutive top 5 finishes at non-drafting oval tracks in 2026. This could be a battle for the win if the 2 Joe Gibbs Racing teammates can outshine the Penske cars, but I'm going to be taking Christopher Bell in this one. The last matchup will be Shane Van Gisbergen versus Ryan Preece. Excuse me. My pick here will be Shane Van Gisbergen. Ryan Preece is going to get plenty of attention this weekend because of his New England roots, but don't overlook SVG. Yeah, the box score says that he had a 32nd place finish last year at New Hampshire, but that doesn't tell the whole story. He qualified 10th place, and he earned points in stage 1 before getting caught up in a couple of incidents later in the race and falling back through the field. SVG has also shown a lot of improvement on short tracks recently. I'm taking Van Gisbergen for my 36 for 36. I thought I've already used this man already this year, but I'm rolling with the 20 car of Christopher Bell. I'm very high on him this week, and you'll hear some of that coming up here in the best bets. He's due for a win. He has 7, I repeat, 7 second place finishes this year. He is due for a win. I think Christopher Bell, I'm taking him all week. So for the best bets, and these are my best bets. My first one, we'll start with Christopher Bell. I think, I got him at a top 5 at minus 140. I like Joey Logano, a top 5 at minus 110. Josh Berry, a top 10 at minus 140. Ty Gibbs at a top 10 at minus 180. I think the top Toyota will be Christopher Bell at plus 200. I got Toyota to win the race at minus 110. I like Joe Gibbs Racing to win this race at minus 105. And finally, my eighth bet will be Christopher Bell to win outright at plus 400. Those are the bets that I'm rolling with this weekend. Hopefully we can bounce back from last week and get ourselves back on the right side of the units. That's going to do it for today's episode of the Nose Sports Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with your fellow NASCAR fans. Whether you've been rolling with me since episode 1 or you're just finding the show today, thank you for the support. Every listen, every comment, every subscription, and every share, it all helps this podcast continue to grow. And I truly, truly appreciate every single one of you who takes the time to tune in each week. As always, thank you for listening. This has been another episode of the Nose Sports Podcast. Enjoy the race, and I'll catch y'all next week. God bless.